Hello everybody, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to be doing a card using the beautifully braided stamp set. This is a photopolymer stamp set and it comes like this, and you can find that in the mini catalogue of Stampin' Up. So I'm going to do a very clean and simple card today. So we'll get started. What you'll need, the card that I'm making today is using Whisper White. I just love Whisper White. So it's half an A4 and I scored it in half again. So I'm just going to burnish the score line. Now you can use whatever card base you wish. So this is a very flexible design that can be adapted to wherever you are in the world. Then I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that goes over the top. I forgot to trim it down the bottom, so just give me a moment. I'll just give it a small trim and I'll be back. So I've just trimmed the front panel, and it's just basically got 1/4 of an inch border around the card base. Also, you'll need a subtle 3D folder too, so I'm using this as well. Alright, so I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus because I find it's just generally easier to stamp with it in case I also make mistakes. So I'm going to put a piece of paper underneath just to keep it all nice and clean. I'm just going to put on a magnet, and I'll put mine down here for now. And I'm just going to grab the stamp. Now this is the first time I'm using this stamp, so I'm going to be using this beautiful leaf image. So it's completely brand new. So what I like to do with my brand new photopolymer stamps is I would like to give them a little bit of a condition. So I'll just pop it in place of where I'd like it to be, which is over here for now. Put it onto my lid there. And what I like to do is I like to get a Versamark ink pad. I'm just going to ink it up. You don't have to do this, but I just find it stamps better. So I wipe it off with my hand. Right, then I'll do it again. This is a tip I learnt from Jennifer Maguire, and I think her tip's wonderful with this. And I just wipe it off with my hand. You can even use one of these jobs as well. And I'll do it again and I'll leave it on, okay? Then I'm going to use some basic grey ink. And I'll just stamp. This is such a beautiful stamp. I absolutely love it. And as you can see, it stamps really well first go. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to give this a wipe. Then I'm going to take it off. Just going to wipe it on my shirt here. And then I'm going to go like this here. Hanging off the bottom, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to now use my ink, basic grey, and I'll stamp that there. This is a really simple card, but I love it. Isn't that just gorgeous? I just love that. Super simple and beautiful. All right, I'm going to take that away. I'm going to put this away as well. And I'll just clean my stamp and just put it to the side for it to dry a little. Okay, gorgeous. All right, I'll put my Stamparatus away, give it a clean as well from all the ink. Use my chamois, love it. All right, pop this to one side, and I'll bring back my card there front, and I will need the piece of paper because I'm going to use some watercolour pencils to colour this in. So the colours I'm using are Faber-Castells. I know they're not Stampin' Up watercolour pencils, but I prefer to colour with watercolour pencils than any other medium for me because I find it's economic. I know it's really boring, but I like the flexibility with it, so that's why I use watercolour pencils. So whatever pencils I use are the equivalent of Stampin' Up colours, so you can easily substitute it. Alright, so I'm going to use a basic grey colour pencil, and I'm just going to colour this all in, and I'm going to put you down. I'm going to zoom you in rather, so you can see how I colour it in. Okay, and I'll put some music on and enjoy. Finished now, so I'm just going to zoom you out back up again. And so I just love the way that looks. It is just beautiful, and the beauty of this is as well is that you can do this any combination of colour you want. So I kept mine really, really simple. So I'm just going to place that on top. You can put a sentiment on the side because I'm leaving it blank. The reason being is that I can use this card for any occasion, whether it be a thank you. You can use this as a sympathy card as well. I really love the grey and white colour scheme. It's really fresh and modern, and I just love that. And also, to me, it's also a classic. So I've got the subtle 3D folder. This is the older style folder, but if you buy the 3D folder, the subtle one, it's the same, just a different company's making it. So I'm just going to pop this into the folder. And I absolutely love, love, love this folder. It's my absolute favourite. It's just so beautiful. Like, it just speaks to me. Love it. All right, so I'm going to bring up my Big Shot and I'm going to use the appropriate platform for that. So I only need one cutting pad for this. I'll run that through. Pop that away, and oh, just wow, 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 look at that. I think this subtle folder just adds the right texture, and it looks absolutely stunning on this. I just love it. So I'm just going to pop this on top here with my glue. And I'm going to add on a sentiment at a later date for whatever purpose I see fit. But I absolutely adore this card. Just love it. On the inside, we're going to decorate it. I completely forgot to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp along the bottom there. So I'll bring my stamper artist back. And I'll definitely get my magnet to keep it all in place so it doesn't flap around. And I'll get that piece of paper underneath just so I don't make a mess. And I'm just going to put these two leaves just down here. You will have your stamp hanging off the edge, but I'm just going to now use my basic grey ink. Ink that half. And that turned out absolutely perfect. I'm just going to clean my stamp. And then I take it off and I just leave it on top of my stamp case just for it to dry for a few moments. Okay, take this off again, and I will colour this in as well, because I think that will look nice for it to continue on from the outside and in here. And because it's thick Whisper White cardstock, it will handle, I think it'll handle the colouring well. We shall see. So I'm going to bring out the same colours I used before, which is a basic grey, and then I used a little bit of was it basic grey? I used smoky slate, and then I used an equivalent of grey granite. Okay, just hold on one moment. I think I ran out of a memory. I'll be with you shortly. Sorry, I'm back. I had to basically put whatever was on my card with my camera onto the computer, then come back, erase everything and start again. So yeah, that's what's happened now. So anyway, I was up to telling you that I'm using a basic grey equivalent watercolour pencil. So I'm going to just colour the areas that I would like with the basic grey. And this is on thick Whisper White direct. So I'll just give that a little colour the way I would like it. And I'll colour over the top of that because I'm going to do the same colour there. Like so. Colour these bits in too with the basic grey. Then I'm going to use the smoky slate equivalent. So smoky slate on this part. And then I'll get a grey granite equivalent. So as you can see, when you are colouring with the watercolour pencils, you can use them dry if you want to, or you use something wet like a water. You can use a water brush, and you can also use a blender pen, and it blends beautifully with the blender pen. So I'll now finish this colouring here, and I'll do this in real time so you can see it, how to do it, and it's really not difficult. I just blend the colours together. Ideally, you go from light to dark, and then that way you blend all the colours together, and they look like, it doesn't look like you have got, you know, separate lines of colour. And that's the idea when you're colouring in with these colours, and even with alcohol markers, that when you blend them out, make sure there's no definitive line of the particular colour you used. It should all just blend in, if you can see that. So I'll show you this closer. As you can see, it kind of blends in. So around here I'll have to do a little bit more blending. So I'll just do that very quickly so you don't see that there was a colour change. And that's the idea with the ink blending. So I'll just do that quickly. And so as you can see now, there's no definitive colour, and I'll just bring that out. See that? It looks really lovely. So I'll do the rest the same as quickly as possible to not waste your time. Now these blender pens are almost dry, the ones that I have. So it doesn't make the paper peel too much, which is good. And I find they work really nicely with watercolor pencils. Kind of just dissolves it instead of using water and making a mess in it, making it peel. I've just used regular Whisper white cardstock, and this is now the thick card base. So it works very well when the blender pens have been used for a little while, and it colours in very nicely. And it just blends it in nicely. So just make sure I give that a really, really good blend. If you were to do this with a brand new blender pen, it will really peel the paper, and yeah, you don't want that. So I'll just finish blending this part down here. There's no shading in this, but yeah, it looks nice. Quite like that. So when you're blending, make sure that the colours blend. Like they're not just, there's a line, because it looks silly, in my opinion. But anyway, so I'll finish now with my watercolouring. So that's my finished card for today. This is a really beautiful stamp set. I only got the stamp set, but it does bundle with a matching punch, which has that pattern, like a braided pattern. I think this is a beautiful stamp set. It can be used for any occasion. I absolutely love it. And I think I'll be using this for my team member that recently signed up with me as a welcome card. So yeah, that's my lovely finished card for today. If you have any questions regarding this tutorial, or if you have any questions regarding joining Stampin' Up, please don't hesitate to let me know. I am more than happy to assist you. Thank you all very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.